Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
What can I say, guys? Well, we are not in great condition right now. So what is happening is that our friend Bitcoin is within the channel which was tested like from the bottom and top several times, and it's not really the best situation for the bullish scenario which we all want to happen. So the thing is, well, actually the signals are pretty much mixed. There are positive signs and negative signs. First of all, let's start from the general look at the market, and look at what from the perspective of huge players who are driving the market price up and down. The thing is, so currently we are very low from the point of $6,000 at this level. Probably it's obvious then huge players were selling, so or they were accumulating short positions, and then they pushed the price lower by pushing sell buttons, and then on the panic when they had these huge volumes, well, relatively huge, they were buying, they were closing their sell positions on the high liquidity levels. And technically there are two possibilities. First, that they already closed most of their positions at those levels, well, until 3,200, and then they don't want to push the price lower because they basically bought at the bottom or relatively at the bottom, and now they want to have profit by going up, by making price go up. And the thing is, it is very likely to happen. So if it is so, then we would expect somewhere around here on the way up they probably sold some of their positions. If they did, then this is just a correction, and at this point they will probably buy a little bit more, and before eventually they will push the price higher in order to close even more for their accumulation around here. And in principle, if they are buying like in a global area somewhere like here, when there's the biggest volume before the major new bull run or something like that, then especially on OTC, of course, then you would expect that this is not the signature of the price possibility to going down. This is just the signature of some like intermediate price action, like trading and additional accumulation of the position. However, if they may not close their buying, they didn't accumulate enough, they want to push the price even lower to, like, I don't know, let's say $1,000 for example, and at $1,000 or on the way to $1,000 on a huge panic, huge liquidity, they would want to buy much more. And of course it would mean that it would imply that they will want to push the price much lower than 3,200, and this may be this move and this sort of accumulation area may mean that this is the initial stage of the continuation of the downtrend, this local downtrend. Also, even if they don't want to make price lower than 3,200, they still may not buy enough at this area, but so they may want to push the price, return to this to make like a second bottom, double bottom, and then accumulate more on the way down. Both these things are possible, or actually like two or three scenarios which I just tried to explain. So, but the possibility of the first one is slightly lower. The reason is, if they want to, of course they may like have this as just a correction and additional accumulation of some buying more position, getting more position at this level lower than the high one. It is really possible. However, the longer this thing happens, the less possible this scenario is. And like that is just the regular correction. But if it would be a correction, then why we don't have the slight growth after that? We still have a channel. On the other hand, of course, we didn't have the fall from that. If it would have a fall, it will form sort of a bear flag, then it would be even better, because like it will be instant, we will know what happened, but it didn't happen. It means that if we are about to go down, then this longer accumulation would mean the fall will be much lower. The drop may be not to, let's say, the same bottom, but even lower. So this is sort of a negative impression, makes negative impression. And also the fact that all the altcoins are behaving not really great. This is the total capitalization of the altcoins, so all the crypto except Bitcoin, and you see that they have this sort of triangle, and it is bearish quite a lot, because we have this flat bottom and descending top resistance, and it pretty much reminds you probably the behavior of Bitcoin in 2018, when we have the top and then we dropped, and then we are oscillating with a lower with a decreasing amplitude of those oscillation in price, and now we have like quite of a flat area for the few recent hours, which seem to be our 6K region for Bitcoin around here. It is pretty much possible that we will drop from that like 50% down. Yes, it could be. So this is one thing. On the other hand, that we are actually, oh yeah, in a 1 hour chart we have this moving averages, which don't look great, because the red one is crossing purple and blue, which is 50, 100 and 200 hours moving average, and on this local sort of short time frame, it is bearish signal. The thing is that we are in principle going to around this red line, which is the top of the top sort of resistance of this falling wedge, global falling wedge, for this altcoins capitalization, which we're talking about for a couple of videos before. And this is the major, like a pivotal point for the market in general, because altcoin, like the alt season may come if we will break it, and if we'll hold above that and go higher and higher and higher. So, and now we're just like hovering around this line, and basically we pierce down and up and down and up and down and so on. So, and this line is actually really important, because it served as a support resistance several times, and even now you see we bounced off that like few times when we trying to approach it. And on the one hand, we actually we tested it from the bottom several times, and we broke it from the bottom a couple of times already, like 3 times, right, 4 times already. Of course, it's not the exact line, you can draw it in different ways. So, but the thing is, since you try to break it several times, you may expect that the more you would try, the more likely it will be broken, and we shall go up from that point. But still, this is a bearish formation. Also, if you look at the, I think, 4 hours chart, then technically, again, from the moving averages standpoint, things are not that bad. And this still 2 golden crosses, and this difference between blue and red moving average is still growing, so it is bullish. But you see, we have like mixed signals. Returning back to Bitcoin, so you've seen this Bitcoin to dollar, but this is Bitcoin to Japanese yen. And what you see here is that there is sort of this sort of triangle as well, but this is not a channel. You see, this is the triangle, and this triangle, if it would be, it wouldn't be from after the drop, then I would say it is a bullish triangle. But now it's sort of half 50-50, but still it looks more bullish than the channel. So maybe Japanese people know something that would make them believe that the price will go higher, and they don't let it go that low. Just they are greedy, they greed don't let them to make price go lower. So I would like to hope for that, but it's not 100% sure, of course. It's not 100% clear. So another positive thing is that Tether is holding above the $1 area, and if it is so, then if you remember, I showed that before. As soon as Tether is the very negative area, then we have sort of a bear trend, and as soon as it goes up, we have bullish 2017 year last year. So if Tether is used for pushing the price high, then technically we may see that to happen within the next years, not years, no, weeks, a month at least. But of course it may even go even higher from that, and you can see that rise and sort of a channel, rise, channel, rise, channel, and in principle this channel is about to over. If you'll like have the same timing, I wouldn't be surprised if it will go much higher again, and that should lead to rise in price of Bitcoin and rise of price of altcoins as well, and this is the whole market will go up. So all those negative bearish signs will be diminished if it will happen. But so far it's just the hope for that, not exact signal. And finally, you can see that from the most of the altcoins, like if you look whatever you want, let's say Ether, wait a second, let's switch to Ether. It forms, like most of the other altcoins, form certain formations, being at the border of at the edge of some strong move somewhere. You can see again the triangle is formed here, and this line is very strong support, but it was already tested, and although it was on the same level, the highs were at the lower and lower levels. It means that we are bearish and more bearish as long as we've continuing to go along this triangle. So still we may go low, we may go high, but the next move must be strong, must be powerful. The same with XRP. It's actually bullish pennant here, but bullish wedge, but not a pennant, bullish wedge, but it's not 100% confirmed, I would say. And the fact that it's very sharp, we're going lower and lower and lower and piercing those moving averages on one hour chart, I think it's not exactly bullish. You can find the same and even like in head and shoulders formation on other altcoins like Cardano, for example. Of course it's a bit twisted, but still. And and Neo has also this pennant formation, quite bullish actually for Neo. The only one which is relatively strong is IOTA, but still head and shoulders you may draw here, and so on and so forth. By the way, if you look still at the Bitfinex chart, you can draw the same thing in other chart, but just this is when I had my drawing. So you can still have this possibility to form inverse head and shoulders for Bitcoin price, and if it will happen, then well, it's cool. We can go a little lower, or we can actually go straight up from here, and if you'll form that and break it, then we can go much higher. So very likely to happen, but again, at the moment it's so uncertain, it's so unclear that nobody will tell you what will happen unless they are whales, but probably they will not talk to you because they don't want you to make money. They want to make money on their own. So what I can do right now, and what I would do, and what I'm actually doing, and it's not a financial advice, just my thoughts. Since we don't know what will happen, we may go much higher from that right now or within the days, or we can go much lower from that. So at this point, again, the simplest thing and the most reliable thing is maybe to buy a little bit more than like 20% or 10%, as I was saying before. I would go like maybe even up to 50%, although it's a bit crazy. But 50% from your portfolio right now, and leave another 50% to buy at the very bottom when it will if it will happen. If it will go like here, maybe like 10-15%, and lower the rest for the rest of the your portfolio in fiat. So in that way you would hedge yourself from the fact it will go high, both high and low. Also, if it will go lower, yeah, you will lose like 50%, for example, if it will go to 2000 or 1800, but 50%, it's not that much, for first of all, comparing to all the previous losses, and second, it's unlikely to stay that low for like years. And especially if you are a long-term investor, if you like have 10 years time horizon, then you don't care. You can buy now for whole your money which you use for investment, and you will be just fine, I think. So that are my thoughts about the price. Now I just want to have tell you a couple of words about, well, not exactly the tricks of the trading, but still things which you may like to use. This is the way how you can find cheap altcoins or get some instant profits on altcoins. I believe that you must know that, but just for those of you who don't know, you can find like maybe not the biggest capitalization altcoins, but like, for example, not first 20, but maybe below first 20 altcoins. Biggest altcoins, you would find that often even on such exchange as a Binance, and like it is really possible, especially during this thin market when we have low liquidity, that sometimes when the price is basically doesn't show any signs of any kind of move up or down, it may have a significant rise. For example, here it's like 50% rise from the previous price, and here is like how much, 75% drop of this level. So you may, if you for example have this coin already and you don't know where to put your take profits order, instead of just leave it there on exchange, you may set some crazy sell order like 50%, 100%, 500% of that, and expect and hope that something like this may happen. And what is happening here is basically, I guess in most cases is just some huge buyer bought accidentally, maybe just accidentally pushed the buy button on this amount, and all the orders, sell orders in the order book were triggered, and the price went so high. And then of course people see, oh, it's so high price, then let's fix the profits, and the price went down immediately. The same happened here. If somebody pushed the sell button for a huge volume, exactly the same thing happened, and the order book was cleared by the huge volume which was sold, and eventually it returned back because it's very low price for this. The same thing you may find for different altcoins. Just another example, Ethos here, it was Grossel coin, this is Ethos, and for instance here, just crazy, you see it was like 38,000 satoshis, and here is just 111 satoshis. So it's basically 35 plus times lower than this price. So you can make 35x on your Bitcoin if you would put your buy order of your Bitcoin around this area. Of course, it's rarely happened, it's unlikely, but to be honest with you, I tried this and I got something like this maybe a couple of times. It worked. So of course I wouldn't suggest you to keep all your Bitcoin on the exchange in order to use this technique. It's up to you, but you see there is an option to do such things, and especially these days this may happen. It's also like take profits, setting take profits of your holdings, maybe 20-30% is often happens even these days for a lot of the coins. So if you're happy with such gains, just use this. Okay, that is it for today. I wanted to tell a little bit more than that, only that, but probably I will keep it for tomorrow, tomorrow's update. And if you like this content, if you enjoyed and learned something new, please leave a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you tomorrow in the next update. Thank you for being with me. Safe trading, guys. Goodbye.